Welcome back, everybody, to the Breakdown Podcast YouTube channel. My name's Corey, and in this video, we're going to be breaking down the latest episode of The Masked Singer. And with me, as always, is my partner in crime, Vic.
There we go. You got it. Other way. Yes.
That way.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Good to see you all for this episode of the Maskys. Where the hell did this come from, dude?
You know what? I'm just going to come out right out the gate and say this was a stupid episode. I mean, come on, seriously. I don't understand the point of this. Is it just a reason to give out a few more clues that were already pointed out?
I don't think necessarily that's about giving out more clues as it is with the change in format. So when they had 3 full groups, A, B, and C, I think that the production schedule ended up being longer than it is with them compacting it down into 2 groups and then using the wild cards the way they did. Plus, probably with his illness and everything else, it just threw everything off. So they probably had like an extra production day that they needed to fill, and this is what they did. Because I think they did the sing along for Christmas last time too, didn't they, or something like that? And this didn't fall the same way. So with everything getting shut down and them having to change how they did it, this is that Christmas episode where they did the sing along and all that stuff. So.
Well, it was stupid, especially when you have to create awards and all the nominees are the same person just singing different songs. I mean,
well, it's not even that. They didn't sing different songs, dude. They just replayed the performance of the song itself.
Well, what I'm saying, like with best rap performance.
Oh, gotcha.
And it's like chameleon, or chameleon. Seriously, do we really need to do this? I will say that I did like some of the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Like when you did get to see the people in the costumes getting their costumes or seeing them for the first time, or in Danny Trejo's case, seeing his dog, which inspired the raccoon.
Right.
I don't.
Well, so
sure, Danny, sure, we'll go with that.
I feel like when he says it inspired it, like he saw that and was like, no, that's the one. It looks like my dog. Like that's inspired. That's what he's saying. I think inspired it. Because they showed a picture of his dog, and his dog did kind of look like that raccoon. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly a complete, throw off.
I mean, it's not far fetched. I mean, James Gunn did it in with the design of Rocket Raccoon.
Sure,
that's based off of his dog.
Sure,
at least the facial features. But I just thought it was kind of a stretch. Overall, I thought this show was a waste. I ended up skipping all the performances.
The actual I mean, I let him play because I like normal. I kind of play it in the background as I'm doing other things. So like the songs kind of gave me the point to where I needed to. When the song ended, that's where I knew I had to pay attention. So I paid attention right before the song would play, and then I would do whatever I was doing, and then the song would end. I'm like, oh, okay, now they're gonna start talking about it, so I should pay attention again. So it's kind of a marker. But again, they just redid the songs that they did that matched to the category. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the different categories, who won, quick talk about whatever it was, and then they did a little vignette for each of them about like what their journey on the show and what they were doing. Some of them are silly, some of them are just ridiculous. This episode actually gave me made 100% my lock-in for the Russian dolls, the nesting dolls.
Russian nesting dolls.
It gave me my lock for that. So because I went down a small rabbit hole because they brought up a couple things, and then I remembered a couple things from my notes as I was writing them down that didn't make any sense to me at first when I wrote it down. But then when they brought it back up again and I went looking for the clues, I was like, oh geez, these are like really, really good, like on the point clues. And when what's her name said something about Carnegie Hall last week, the fact that they sold out Carnegie Hall, like all of it just kind of fell right into place for my research. So we'll talk about that when we get to it. So this episode starts out with the first award for the most powerful mask journey, which went to Crab, aka Bobby Brown. This is a pretty touching moment I don't know how to say it, but because he was talking about the loss of his kids, Bobby Christina and Bobby Jr. So like it was obviously going to tug on the heartstrings, and I'm sure they knew that's exactly what it was going to do, and it did. So I wasn't surprised that it did it, but I was actually pretty surprised at his response when he was talking to him. He's like, I did it because, it gave me a chance to kind of let some of my feelings out about the loss of my kids. But he said, most importantly, it gave me something fun to do with my younger kids. And he talked about how he's going to sit on the couch with them and watch the show and then wait to see how long it takes them to realize it's him. I'm like, that's awesome. Like I would do that. I would do that. Definitely.
When he got unmasked, just because of that comment, I think it would have been great if he would have had somebody that was sitting in another set of him and the kids on the couch.
Yeah.
And filming it with their phones secretly.
When
Crab got revealed. Just when
he got unmasked.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like when they start going, oh, we think it's Bobby Brown, the kids are all going to look at him and be like, what? Well, what I think he should do is he should get them to let him take the crab suit home. And then, like, he's going to go like, hey, I need to go to the bathroom real quick. And he goes out and puts the suit on and then, like, waddles out there as they're doing the reveal. It'd be awesome.
That would have been so... Though, considering what they've said, though, how much those costumes cost, there's no way that's leaving the studio.
Dude, I'm sure they would let them do it. They'd have to have a production... No, they would need to have a production crew there. Then they would have someone with a camera to record the whole thing. I think that'd be cool. Like as an extra bit to add to the end of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so you can't complain about the pick. There wasn't a whole lot because obviously he's been revealed. Next up on the list was the most entertaining train wreck. The Maskey went to Raccoon for Wild Thing with Danny Trejo. Danny sounds like he swallowed a bottle of rocks, chased it down with broken glass, and then smoked 900 packs of cigarettes on a good day. So him trying to sing... Huh?
I have to disagree.
What?
I thought he sounded amazing. I really think he should still be on the show. And that's all I get to say. Danny got robbed.
And you gave me a hard time about hashtag bring back seashells. So boo to you.
Yeah, but this is Machete we're talking about here.
You just don't want to get cut. Don't lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Danny Trejo was obviously revealed as Raccoon and he came back. But it was that Wild Thing. Wow. It's like, oh, did he just have a stroke? What happened? The next award was the most emotional performance. The nominees for that were Black Swan, Orca. So Black Swan did Use Somebody, Orca, Every Rose Has Its Thorns, and Piglet, 7 Years. And the winner of that went to Piglet for 7 Years. I like this song. Like, this is one of the songs, like, I have this on my playlist. I really like this song for some reason, and I think he did a great job on it. The more so than the performance, which was just a replay, as we said, and the fact that it made Jenny swoon for whatever reason because it reminded her of her son. I still don't get where that came from, but okay. Cloodle Doo jumps in and he says, "Hey, you need to pay attention to these specific things," and he pops in during the entire episode to give us kind of like a highlight of what clues we should be concentrating on. So I don't know if I like this or not because I feel like these are the clues that we thought were like important clues when we talked about them. So I'm pretty sure that everyone kind of gets that these are like important clues, but he kind of jumps in and adds a little bit more emphasis into them. As we said in our episode, the scoreboard 11 to 11, a time of 50 and 10, 50 seconds. I don't know, 50 minutes, 10 seconds, which is just weird. 3 yards to go. And then the 3,528 rushing inches in a game, which I know, I see that look on your face already. I don't even have to look at you to know that you're going, I know, I already said this. Do you still stick to those numbers?
Yeah, I mean, I got to. I mean, it's if they are the problem here is they're focusing on this, and in the NFL, the only conclusion is Terrell Davis, but there's no way in hell that's Terrell Davis.
Well, it's not the only conclusion because it could be Dante Culpepper too, for the reasons that I named.
Yeah, but it ain't him either.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I was running with it for a while just because I wanted it to be true, but I had to let that one go.
But I think it was on last week's episode that I had pulled up that article from goldderby.com where they were talking about who Piglet was, and they pointed to the score and what that meant. So, and we both locked in with Nick Lachey.
Yeah.
With that, I'm still sticking with it. Even though the one clue that they pointed out with the yards doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. But my master sleuth of a wife who pulled up like a bunch of different songs by Adam Levine and played them for me so that I would know that I was wrong, which I was fine with. She's like, that's definitely not him. And then she starts playing this music. I was like, yeah, you're probably right. You're 100% right about that. So yeah, I'm conceding to you. And I think I already said that I was jumping on your bandwagon with Nick Lachey, so I'll stick with it. I can't find any reason to say that that's not the way that this is going to go down. So, so the next Masky was the most rebellious character goes to Grandpa Monster, aka Logan Paul. I'm like, okay, so you guys just literally named these after the person that you already decided won. So what was the point? Like, there isn't one thing in here that doesn't fit the character model for who won. So I'm like, whatever. Here you go.
Yeah.
And he did Bad Reputation, which, when I first saw it, I was just like, this dude's an idiot. Like, you could tell he was having a lot of fun with it. You could tell he was energetic. Like, at this point, I knew who it was. So, and I have just a distaste for this guy anyway. So that was kind of, I think, tainting my experience of the episode with it, because I already knew who it was. And obviously, like, you have certain biases to certain people because for things that they've rightfully done that you should have problems with this idiot. But watching it again, listening to it, like I wasn't watching him be the idiot that he is. I was just listening to it. It's actually not that bad. He didn't do that bad of a job with that song. I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Like, he did, like, for him, and I think because of who he is and his character and what he was doing, I think he actually did a pretty good job on that song. I'm going to give that to him.
He didn't do that bad of a job, but let's be honest, that song's not hard to do.
It's not. I mean, neither is Wild Thing. So, I'm just saying.
But I think no, you're right. That one's not hard
I'm
to
just
do.
saying. No disrespect, Machete. Don't come kicking through my door or something, but I'm just saying. There was this weird thing with Caitlyn Jenner. I'm guessing that like she didn't want anything to do with the episode after she was done. So they just did this little vignette of probably like a piece of like some B-roll that they did of her. And she was just like, "Oh, Phoenix, your breath smells," and she gave it a breath mint, and that was it. I'm like, "Oh, okay." So that's all you're going to be involved with this episode, I guess.
I mean, to be fair, what's her name? Tamara Mowry didn't really do anything either.
Yeah, that's true too.
So,
but it was just weird.
I think,
she didn't like.
Sometimes it had to do.
If I remember correctly,
with the segments.
But she sang. Tamara Mowry sang in that, didn't she? Wouldn't she? I don't remember now. I have to go up there. It's on my list, but I don't.
They both sang in that song at the end of the episode.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But as far as any backstage stuff, yeah, they had the one where Caitlyn was talking to the Phoenix head, but again, Tamara Mowry, I don't think there's anything backstage with her. So I think it's all how they pick and choose and what they got at the time that the person was there,
right?
And what segments they were doing. So I wouldn't really look too much into that.
Well, considering the next statement that was made was the best John Legend cover. I think only one person's done John Legend on this season. So
exactly. Like, and that goes back to my point at the beginning, where it's like you just made up categories just to include somebody. Let's forget this episode. Let's move on to the next week. You want to give out clues, that's fine, but don't. Let's not be stupid here. This is a waste of our time. And then even they'd always cut to Nick out on stage talking to the crowd and everything. What's the crowd is seeing at this point? Everything on a video screen?
I would guess.
Or did you just film this? Did you just film his part before a taping, and then all the shots of the crowd were just taken from other tapings?
Well, yeah, it's all B-roll.
and just intercut everything. It's.
I don't think there's an independent. I don't think there's an studio audience for every episode. I think they're like. I think
I think there is. I think,
but it's just but I think what they do is they film all of their shows at one time. So I think that studio audience is the same studio audience for I Know Your Voice. You think they sit there
watch an entire season?
Dude, no. I think they do a taping of they probably do like a taping of a Masked Singer, and then they do a taping of I know That Voice or whatever that other one is that Ken Jeong does.
You think it's the same?
I think it's the same. I think it's I really do think it's the same. It's the same studio audience for both shows. I really do. I'm convinced. But Cloodle-Doo jumps in. Cloodle-Doo jumps in.
I hate that name.
Oh, it's a tongue twister. Like, I try to say it, and Cloodle-Doo jumps in, and he points out the fact that Robopine, or AKA Porcupine, he, in one of his clues, it was about genes, like DNA genes or whatever, biological genes. And he said what they really meant was genes, Jeans, like genes. And Tyrese, I'm pretty sure, was a jeans model.
Oh.
Yeah. So, sir, as you know, I don't ever remember seeing your boy doing any kind of modeling for jeans. I'm just saying. I know you got some pretty heavy duty clues for him, but I'm telling you, this is Tyrese Gibson.
I'm going to say this because I kind of have a feeling you might be right.
Okay.
However, I'm going to make this prediction. That little electric bolt, they're probably going to say that was a clue towards Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
I could see it.
They're going to say that was a clue for it.
That's true.
It's like, get the hell out of here. You know damn well that is like a quote-unquote symbol for electro, which Jamie Foxx played.
But it does come down to the fact that there are all kinds of red herrings, and that's it's just a red herring. It's a mislead clue, so you can't hold it against them because it is what they do. But anyway,
I still don't think he can sing that way.
What's that?
I said I still don't think he can sing that good, but whatever.
So the best rock performance goes to Orca. We're not going to take
imagine that.
Mark McGrath getting the best rock performance.
It was like, he didn't really have much competition, to be honest.
Well, but you did notice he became a Twitch hot tub streamer for a minute there in his response to Nick.
Oh.
So he, his status probably went up. But yeah, it was basically like I said, all of these things are foregone conclusions as to why they did it. I think most of it is just most of it to me is if they've already been revealed, they don't really have anything to give them. If they haven't been revealed, then there's a category, which is just kind of weird. So it's like, okay, so you don't have a category for everything. You just have like a winner for some things and a category for others with other people involved, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but whatever. So case in point is the best pop song nominees were Phoenix for TikTok, Russian Dolls, aka the Nesting Dolls, for 24 Karat Magic, and the Black Swans, In My Blood, and they went to the Russian Dolls. Good performance. I enjoyed it. This is another song that I really like, so I kind of paid attention to it a little bit more. The Cloodle-Doo jumps in again, throwing down hints and clues. Mostly about the Russian Dolls. Basically, he says that one of their hats has 29 in Roman numerals on it. They bring up...
he says that, but then doesn't explain it.
Yeah, well, it's just like you're supposed to go back.
Did you see there's a 29 on there?
Well, yeah. But the point is you're supposed to go back and look at the clues again, which is what I did, because I was like, I don't remember seeing that. So I went back and I looked at the episodes real quick, like wherever Russian Dolls were. I like scrolled through them. I'm like, okay. Because I didn't have that in my notes, and I took pretty good notes about the Russian Doll in the first couple episodes, so the first couple episodes that they showed them. But I didn't catch that, because I guess like I wasn't looking at the Nesting Doll's hat while they were performing. So it didn't really like, I don't know, like there probably are a lot of clues that are like thrown in there while they're actually doing their thing, but I've never thought to look at them during the actual performance to catch clues. So like him bringing that up and showing that, I was like, oh, there's a whole nother angle of like clues that I've been missing the whole time. So it'll be interesting to see. But he went into a number of things on them. One about the Misfit toy store thing. I saw that, but did not. I don't know. Like Misfits, is that the way you spell the Misfits? The group.
Mm-mm.
It's not, right?
No.
Okay, because I was like, is that a reference to the?
No, that has those have S's in it.
Oh, does it?
I will say this: I googled that Misfits, and I think I did Misfits and Handsome, and it led me to a website that I brought up last week, and that's goldderby.com. And
you like those guys?
No, it's just the first article that I found that mentioned it. But here's the thing: they say week 1 clues package included a shot of the brothers' initials in the sign Misfits Toy Store. Oh, okay. So I didn't read that fully beforehand, but yeah, that's where their initials are, I guess.
Around it. Oh, maybe.
Hold on.
Before you do that, because I'm assuming they have like a whole breakdown of what clues the Russian dolls have. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Before you do that, I'm gonna run through what I found, and this is I'm out front. Like I put in Hanson and Wiki because I figured the answers that I was looking for would be there, and I just needed to match what was in Wiki with what I have written down for them. Right. So there are a couple things that I put on there that Nick had said something about. Not Nick. Was it Nick? I don't know. Somebody said something about singing with for the president, right?
Okay.
So that pulled me back to like their most popular song was Bop, I think. That's the one that I remember. I don't know them for anything else. So this is the song that I'm going to say would be the song that would get everyone's attention. That would get them the popularity that they had, at least in my mind. So I looked up like performances, and they performed Bop for President Clinton.
Yes, they did.
And that was it. Like that's all I really needed to see to know that I was right about that poll, because they flat out brought that up during one of the clues. The other thing that I caught was it said something about you could have up to 15 dolls in a nesting doll set. Like, and I was like, okay. I was like, that's an awful like direct number, but I couldn't figure out why that would be a thing. And I'm like, there's no bands that I can think of besides like the like Philharmonic Orchestra or something that had 15 people in it. They better not come out with 15 like nesting dolls, because that's just ridiculous. But then I figured out what it was, because if you read through all of it, they brought up something about how one of them ended up going to the hospital. And that was, I think, Zach or something got into a motorcycle accident.
Yes.
But if you read in Wiki, it goes through like each one of them, and it tells you how many kids they have altogether. And they have 15 kids altogether. So that could be what that's referencing, is 15. You have up to 15 units in a thing, but then that wouldn't be 15. It would be 18, because you have to have the 3 parents, like the 3 guys, and then their kids. But I think the 15 has to do with their kids.
Yes, that's what this site says as well.
Carnegie Hall, what's her name from last week? Tom Hanks's wife, which is what my wife informed me of. I didn't know that was her. I honestly thought she was like Wilson Phillips of Wilson Phillips fame. I didn't know. I had no idea who this person was. My wife is like, that's Tom Hanks's wife. I'm like, I feel like an idiot. But she's like my personal IMDb. I'm like, who is this person? She's like, that's so-and-so married to Ho-and-O, and I was in this and that. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Thanks for the update, because I never know who anyone is. But when you look up IMDb, I just call my wife. And that's how I get my answers. So when she said that about Carnegie Hall, that was the other thing that, not at the time, but in reading this, it talks about the fact that they sold out Carnegie Hall. So all of those things definitely locks in my answer that I was right from the go. They were the first thing I picked out was Bop Boys, because I couldn't remember what their names were. And then I thought I was wrong at first, because they kind of went to they were like, there's 2, then there was 3, but then there was a 4th one that they had in there. and I wasn't sure. However, my daughter did inform me that there is an extra one. There is another brother out
There's
there.
an extra brother.
There's another brother, but they don't really talk about him because he's not in the industry. So, like, I was like, oh, well, there we go. I got some more information from my daughter that I didn't know either. But it would make sense if they end up having a fourth one out there because, I don't know. It's just how they could play it off. But I think that fourth one, and I said this before, that fourth one is a red herring. Like, they have one of them in that big one every once in a while to just throw us off. So
yeah, and this is the point in our episode where I say I'm changing my locked in vote.
You're gonna go down the rabbit hole with me, huh?
Yeah, like I said, I had looked this up and found this article and was reading through it, and it's hard to still continue on with Jonas Brothers, and I don't like to be really so much influenced by other outside sources, but unfortunately, when you do a little research, you end up stumbling upon something like this that may affect that. So I am switching to Hanson as well too.
So this next one is again another, hey, we're just gonna throw it in there because we need to. It was the best song performed by an inanimate object. Seashell. I think we're alone now. Anyway, moving on.
Just move on.
That look on your face is literally like, let's just move on.
No, I mean, seriously, it's only just an excuse to say, oh yeah, she was on the
show. Again, best rap performance, as you said earlier, Chameleon, Ride With Me. Chameleon, 21 Questions. And Chameleon, Regulator. Regulate. And it went to Chameleon. I actually kind of thought that was a little bit of a funny jab because he's the only one that really did a rap song.
Songs.
Right. So, like, it does kind of throw it out there. It's like, okay, this guy's definitely a rapper. There's no way you can say he's not.
Yeah, I mean, that in itself is a clue there.
Right. So, like, I think that the playing that up didn't really, I don't know. I didn't think that was too bad of a thing. What else was there?
You had the Yeti. There was something for the Yeti too.
It was the Kermit the Frog got an award. I can't remember what it was for.
And you know what? I listened a little bit of that back. That sounds nothing like Kermit the Frog.
You know what? I thought listening to it back that once I knew it was Kermit the Frog, you could hear the guy trying to do Kermit the Frog singing something that they don't normally.
Miserably.
Well, here's the thing. So, like, Kermit the Frog has songs written specifically for Kermit the Frog, so it sounds like Kermit the Frog the way he sings it. So when you just have a random song, you just have a random person. So if you have anybody that does like voices, or that can do an impression of somebody. If you try to do an impression of a person singing a song, it's gonna sound a little bit like the person you're impersonating, but not a lot. It's gonna sound more like the song. So as I was listening, I was like, oh, I actually do kind of hear Kermit in there, which I definitely did not hear the first time so much. And then when they said, oh, it sounded like Kermit the Frog was singing, I was like, what the hell ever. And then boom, it's Kermit the Frog. I was like, I hate you right now. I hate everything about you, show. Though I will repeat, and I said this before, that I think putting something like that in for the very first reveal is actually a really smart idea. Rather than using someone like in it that's only going to make it through one round, because I'm telling you, if Kermit wasn't there to be voted off the way he was, then Raccoon would have gone that day. If he was he in that group? Yes, I think he was in Group A.
Was he?
So like he would have been gone. He would have been gone right away. Like if they didn't have Kermit in there for them to like sacrifice reveal. So I think that going forward, they'll probably keep doing that moving forward, just to accommodate, make sure that the people that are on the show are actually on the show longer, in my opinion. Is
that it? Clue-de-doo. They gave out some more clues on that. The only thing I can figure, they said that they have some kind of connection with Mickey Rourke. I don't know. I don't know what Ashton Kutcher has to do with. The only thing I can Google Ashton Kutcher and Mickey Rourke was some British magazine several years ago did something on both of them.
Did you look and see if Joel McHale has any connections to Mickey Rourke?
No, I did not.
Because I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure that's just Joel McHale. They just needed to do something with him to keep him off of the stage. They're like, no, you can't be a guest host anymore. You and Ken can't be sitting next to each other because you're too distracting. We're gonna put you in this rooster suit and make you do this.
We know that you and Joel are friends, but can you please tell him to get away from the studio doors? We're trying to record. He won't leave us alone. He really wants to be on the show because he's bored. He just finished shooting episodes of Stargirl and has nothing else to do.
Oh, but Joel gave me a ride to the studio today. He just shows up at Ken Jeong's house. He's like, "I'll give you a ride to the studio if you let me come in."
Well, see, the problem is Joel is Ubering, and he's my ride afterwards too. So he's just kind of waiting out there. I mean, can we put him in a chicken suit?
He's my designated Uber.
He's trying to make up for lost wages during quarantine.
That's freaking hilarious. Oh, the last one you were talking about was game-changing performance. Was Russian Doll has a nominee for Man in the Mirror, Yeti for Lonely, and Bulldog for Candy Girl because they had to get him in there somewhere, even though he didn't win anything. And that one went to the Yeti, which was the episode where he was rollerblading, which I was like, holy smokes, he's rollerblading in that suit. I was like, that's actually pretty impressive.
I mean, come on, it's Homer Simpson. He can roller skate. He can do everything.
It's Homer Simpson? What?
Yeah, that's my locked-in vote, Homer Simpson.
Oh, I forgot you said
because
that.
of the donuts.
I hate you right now.
All right, thanks for watching. Be sure to check us out live Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/MillerKing_51. The link is in the description below. Oh, and while you're down there, please hit the subscribe button, the thumbs up button, and that bell to get notifications. So on behalf of Vic,
thanks to all of our subscribers also for chiming in and leaving us some comments for us to respond to this week. We had a lot of fun talking to you guys. We hope you guys keep doing that. Be sure to ding that bell like he said. And I'm Vic, Miller King 51. See ya. Yeah!